guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, I gotta tell you, I have been absolutely completely wiped. I don't know what spell PowerCon put on me, but I have been absolutely drained ever since coming back from that convention, but in a good way, in a really good way. And you know what? Similarly, though, there have been a lot of things which I've wanted to talk about in that time. I got a whole bunch of stuff which I'd like to show off a little bit tonight, really quickly. But at the same time, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. You know, the Thundercats cast Lair. I mean, like, no, seriously, that that thing was absolutely massive. But obviously, we're here to talk about a whole bunch of different things. One of them, the main one, being the elephant in the room, which of course is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles playset, which I think is on everybody's mind right now. This is just absolutely blowing everybody's mind. And to help me navigate these treacherous waters, these crazy times, I want to bring in a couple of friends. First, I want to bring in good friends of the channel, Emerald Knight Photo, John. What's going on, my friend? How you doing tonight?
What's going on?
Oh, good to see you, John. We were there at
Yeah.
PowerCon, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just a crazy experience. And you know, before we get into that, though, how are you doing, and what's going on in your life, my friend? What's happening?
Much like you, Jay, I'm still recovering. I'm still, you know, it's been a while since I've been around, you know, that many people.
Crazy,
and
right?
so, but you know, it was good. It was good meeting everybody face to face. You know, people that I've, you know, chatted with on social media, and then people I've kind of just been following, and then actually got to meet them. You know, get to introduce them. You know, introduce myself to them. So that was real cool.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, just had a real good time, and really looking forward to going back next year.
100%. It's a blast, right? Someone else who was with us was our good friends, Carlos. Carlos, what's going on, my friend? The Badass Reviews. How's it going, brother?
How you doing? Everything amazing, dude. Everything good. Excited for everything at PowerCon.
Oh, it was just crazy, and we're gonna recap a lot of those things that happened during that time, and everything that we experienced, everything that we saw, some of the crazy things, some of the not so crazy things, some of the some of the big things, and of course the most expensive things that were there. But again, I want to bring in some additional opinions, if you will, about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I do want to bring in our good friends over at Toy Habits. Toy Sorceress, what's going on, Toy Sorceress? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jay?
Good. You know, again, it's been a crazy week for the three of us, and you know, we're all old men here, so you know, we're completely wiped. But you're young, you can handle it.
80s kids, so. 80s kids.
Exactly. I've had a crazy week myself.
Yeah. You just did
last week. Yeah, and I had to quickly pack up my house and my toy room to get my house staged because I'm buying a house, so I had to sell my house, and so that's why you don't see any toys behind me. So that's been a bummer.
So sad.
But we got an offer yesterday on our house, so we're moving forward.
Congratulations!
That's good news.
Yeah, congratulations.
New toy room set up, and it's going to take another month or two.
That's awesome.
And we had I'm using total air quotes, hurricane that was coming towards LA. And it actually died down to a tropical storm, but it's raining out. It's not a big deal. But the media was like, get ready to hunker down and get sandbags and blah blah blah. 90-year storm, and
I live in Florida, so I know about it.
But you know what? It's better that they say that than they don't. I mean, you know, the poor people in Hawaii, and you know, they had no warning. You know, it was terrible for them. I really feel my heart goes out to everybody who was affected by those fires. And you know what? We're having our own hotspots and fires up here in Canada, British Columbia. You were on a stream with Ken earlier today, and he relayed the fact that he's in a hot zone right now. Right? It's only about an hour away from him or something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean,
3 years ago, there was a huge fire that ripped through LA all the way to Malibu. It was a mile from my house. I could see the flames out my window.
Oh my God.
On the hill. And I know what it's like to have a wildfire burn through your neighborhood.
We still have warnings here in Florida all the time with the hurricanes, and people who live in the Keys they don't listen to the warnings and they stay there with these
No,
big
no.
hurricanes that hit them.
It's because it's LA. We don't get hurricanes here, so everyone's looking like, what the heck? And then we had a small earthquake an hour or two ago,
Oh,
which
wow.
was minor.
Wow.
Yeah, and everyone's laughing. We're like, earthquakes, hurricanes, what's going on? We're good.
Are you kidding me, man?
No.
That's pure insanity.
Nature's a
Oh my
wild
gosh.
beast today.
That's crazy. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad everybody is well. I'm glad that you're well on your way to a brand new toy room. That is so
Yes.
exciting. So congratulations!
I can't wait.
It's going to be so much fun. We miss your toy room, you know. So we. Really
I know, and I'm gonna have to set up all brand new shelving because I don't have anything built in. But I'm gonna have to devise something really cool for the Cat's Lair and Eternia. I have no shelving, so I'm gonna have to build all that from scratch. But it's gonna be incredible when it's done. So
That's
I can't
going to be
wait for
fun.
you.
You know, at least it gives you the time, right? So that's good.
Oh yeah.
And we're not done yet, guys. We have another wonderful guest coming in. He's always on top of everything toy news. Guys, please help me welcome Lyle's Figure Files. What's going on, Jeffrey? What's going on?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing great, brother. Holy crap. What
to talk about.
What a time, my friend. What a time. And a whole bunch of crazy things to talk about today.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God, just crazy. How are you doing, Jeffrey? What's going on?
Good. You know, it's that Hasbro onslaught where it's like, oh, you're supposed to come in December. What do you mean the pre-orders come in tomorrow?
Oh my God. I came back from PowerCon. It's like, oh, you've got Amazon's like hitting me with, oh, you've got an eel coming in. Oh, you've got a thing coming in. Oh, we've had to cancel your freaking manufacturing. What the hell's wrong with you, Amazon? Like, seriously. Oh my God. So many people cancel your tears. So many tears. I like what was that, Jeff?
You said they canceled your Manny Faces?
They canceled my Manny Faces, man.
Oh,
they
man. You
Hey, I found out what
those
happened to
guys
your
out over
Duplico.
here.
I found out what happened to your Duplico.
Me too. Well, no, well, the Duplico I have you to thank for.
Well, the one I sent to you got returned back to me yesterday because I didn't put a good enough description on the because I put toy. Like that wasn't enough for them.
What?
So then I went, it got returned to sender. So I went back to the post office and I said, it's an action figure. Do you need more than that? And I said, just write Motu. And the guy looked at me like, what the heck? I'm like, it's fine. Leave it. And then I give it back to him. So hopefully Duplico's on his way.
For a second time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Toy Source is always so awesome, and let me pay for the shipping next time. Like, you know, because now you're. Oh my God, you're. Hey,
he didn't charge me again. I was like,
you and I are going to argue about that later. You and I are going to argue about that later. Anyway, we have one more surprise guest who I wasn't sure he was going to make it, but he's here. We all met up in PowerCon, and I'm so glad he's here tonight. Oz, where is he? Where'd he go? There he is. Oz, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing phenomenal. I actually just got done hanging out with Skelly on the channel Weekly Weird, and now rolling right into the next stream because, you know, I like to do a bit of channel surfing. So, yeah.
Oz is the man. He's bouncing from one stream to another stream to another stream. And you know what? All of us have been streaming like crazy these last couple of weeks, but for good reason. I mean, between the Thundercats Cat's Lair, between all the releases that happened at PowerCon, I mean, some of the crazy things, like, I couldn't believe. Let me ask you, like, I'm going to go around the horn really quickly right now. Can we all agree that PowerCon has become the indie central for toy collecting right now? Like so many independent collectors, independent creators showing up at PowerCon and just showing off their wares. Like, I was shocked, and I really wish I had more time to go over all the indie creators, because there was some really great stuff. Carlos, what was your takeaway from the show as a whole? Like, what did you think about the show?
Well, I mean, I have the opportunity to. I went last year, and I can compare this show with, you know, like with the last year's show, and it's double the size right now. Like all the space that you saw there, and for example, for me it was totally fine. In a day and a half, I was able to see everything in every single booth. This time I was there 2 days, Friday and Saturday, with my buddy Jorge, and we couldn't do anything. I mean, aside from we were doing the interviews and stuff and talking to the creators and some toy companies and stuff like that, but the show was amazing. I mean, PowerCon become from being just like Masters of the Universe toy convention, now is like a mainstream, like where all these big companies and small companies, I mean, get there to promote their stuff. And I mean, for us, the fans, I think it's incredible. I mean, it's amazing. And on top, you have the opportunity to see all your old friends from Facebook, from YouTube, from everywhere, which is amazing. You know, like to me, that's the best experience is the people. You know, like I feel that I'm like in my house, in my neighborhood, where I can talk to people that usually we talk over social media. You know, like it's incredible. It was amazing.
Absolutely. And Oz, what actually John, what was your takeaway from the whole show?
Really, it was really my first convention in a long time, but really one of that size. I've never really been to one that big, and especially one that had a lot of panels. That was the real interesting thing, was actually going to the panels. I went to the Super7 panel, the Mondo panel, and again, it's just really kind of interesting, kind of see the creators that you kind of follow, or of the product lines that you follow and purchase, and seeing them talk about their different future lineups, this and this, and doing Q&As. Actually, I actually did a question in Super7, which I should have done. I should have waited for, and done a question in the Mondo panel. Jay, if you know all that deal with the way they did their Q&A. But no, it was fun. I mean, got to meet Oz, face to face, and Carlos. We were we guys I just chat all the time on Instagram and social media, and being able to see each other face to face and hang out and talk and just kind of have that one-on-one time with. But yeah, I think it was a great experience. Not as big as what I hear from San Diego Comic-Con, which could be a good thing, because San Diego Comic-Con, I think you're kind of like a sardine. You're kind of like squished in there. Whereas, PowerCon, you had enough room to kind of just, peruse all the booths, check everything out. I was there. I got in Thursday, but I went to the show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday was pretty much just kind of just checking out the booths, checking out, seeing if I want to purchase anything, last minute. But overall, I think I was able to kind of get everything done, everything I wanted to see within those 3 days. Really, the first 2 days, but overall, I really, really enjoyable experience.
Absolutely. And Oz, what was your takeaway from this? I mean, this was a quite the travel for you. I remember.
I mean, everything that it took to get there was just amazing. The community getting behind me to get me there, just cannot thank you all enough for every bit the help. That was fantastic. Like John, I got there Thursday. Matter of fact, that night, spent some time walking all over Columbus, Ohio, just trying to find a place to eat because everything closed like really early. And stumbling across like some random concert that was going on, so we got a chance to hang out and enjoy a concert for a little bit while we were looking for food. But then, the actual convention started up on Friday, and waiting in the long line, because like John, it's been years since I've been to a convention, and just having experience of meeting. One of the things that really stands out about PowerCon now is, since Mattel has pulled out their support, their of being convention that was so grounded in Masters of the Universe and even Thundercats too, is now it gives a spot for all the indie guys to show up, show off everything, and truly be the stars of the convention. Whereas if they go to a San Diego Comic-Con, yeah, people see them, people know them, but everybody's waiting to hear about what Hasbro or Mattel has the pipeline. That's what everybody's lined up for. You go to San Diego Comic-Con, you go to Toy Fair, you go to New York Comic-Con, all these places, people are looking for the big guys. But this show that it's still big enough to get like a very well-known presence that, they go off there with nobody there to outshine them. And it goes beyond just like the realm of fantasy. Because, yeah, we had, 4 horsemen there showing off their Cosmic Legions and Figure Obscura. And you had Savage Crucible, you had Formo Toys, like all these guys showing off all these fantasy lines. But one of the other big lines there for like 2 days is Valaverse had a huge presence there. So big shout out for Bobby Vala and everything, being able to be there, showing off going on, which shows where this convention is growing in a different direction from how it started. And that's phenomenal. The best part, the absolute best part and most amazing part was just the people and the interactions. Jay, getting a chance to meet you in person, John, meeting you, meeting everybody who was the alpha in the chat, Andrew Davis, like so many people just being able to walk up and see in person. Because like, you know, Carlos, like we talk to people online all the time. We see each other weekly. We get to chat and you know, within the chat groups and like that. But there's nothing quite like that meeting in person and actually being able to spend time with somebody outside of this internet environment. And that really makes it special because we get a chance to do that and not be surrounded by all the fanfare of the bigger convention. As much as it is Mecca to the indie toy guys, it's also kind of like this Mecca for us too, to be able to congregate, spend time with each other, and even connecting with the people who create these toys. So let's face it, when you go to you can get a very brief chance to talk from the design team of Masters Universe or G.I. Joe or Transformers, something like that. But here you get to talk to the built from the ground up. You know, like it was the concept, the idea, and then putting it forward into production. You get that chance to time with them face and really talk about this stuff. And of course, I mean, there's certain things that maybe they're not able to say right then and there, but you know, that's because they've got plans supposed to come out like that. And it's just a phenomenal experience for all of that. But the people are what make the convention. So without everybody there, it wouldn't have been half as amazing and fun as it really was. But it was a grand experience to meet and spend time with so many creators and content creators. Phenomenal.
Absolutely. And Toy Sorceress, you were outside looking in. What was your experience learning and seeing all the stuff that was happening in real time?
I thought it was great. I always enjoyed PowerCon in the past, and obviously since it was in Ohio, I didn't get to go out there. But Jay, I want to personally thank you for sending me all of those incredible photos from the Mondo panel stream, and because I got firsthand look at all of those things that were being announced as they were happening live, which was incredible. So thank you so much for that. Those exclusives. And as I was writing the article, of course, it's gonna be a good hour to put it together. The photos started to leak out on Instagram, and then everybody saw them. But that was really cool to get to see those firsthand. And I really loved, the independent toy companies. Formo Toys is coming out with even more stuff now. They've got a wave 2 of their Legends of Dragonware, and of course all the new dragons that they've shown now. This is the second or third time they've had them out on display, but that is an incredible line that I'm extremely excited for. And I miss the fact that PowerCon is not in Anaheim anymore, just for obviously selfish reasons. But now that it is in Ohio, it's more centralized. I think all of the independent toy companies can easily get there a little bit. They've got better access to the con. It was harder for everyone to come all the way to the West Coast. So now that it is, in Ohio, it's more accessible to a lot more toy companies. So I think that's great. And I would have loved to have been there in person, but I am mega jealous that you got to see the freaking cat's lair up close and personal. And I couldn't believe how big the damn head was. You're standing next to it. That was so cool. And I loved your interview with Brian Flynn. That was just fantastic. So
yeah,
thank you for bringing us all that news firsthand.
Well, it's funny because like even though it looks as big as it does on screen, it doesn't compare to when you're there. It really
really
doesn't. It's completely.
It doesn't give justice to the size of that thing. It's massive.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me second thoughts on where am I going to put this thing at. I mean, seriously, I'm like, I didn't realize how big it is until you see it up close.
I'm not kidding. The head is bigger than my head.
Really?
Yeah, I told Brian in my interview on my Instagram, I was like, dude, this thing is bigger than my head. It's huge.
That's incredible. And Brian confirmed to us that the vintage Thunder Tank does not fit in the claw, but we probably were so close.
I
was cracking up when you asked him that question because I remember me and you were talking about it on one of your streams, hoping, contemplating, thinking it might fit, but I guess maybe it's a little
no. It wasn't meant. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be Toy Sorcerers. Jeffrey, what were your like? Did you see a lot of things that were happening? Like I know McFarlane Toys was there. There was doing a few announcements on their side. Actually, they canceled their panel. Yeah. It's actually kind of strange that they did that.
Wow.
It was really strange. And did you have any takeaways from the things that you were finding out about?
I mean, I was following behind everything you were doing, so I felt like I was trailing right behind you or being your cameraman during everything. The cast there just looks amazing. I mean, you guys are saying it didn't even do it justice, but from the screen justice, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the greatest playset ever. And if something comes that's going to top that, I don't even know if it's going to be worth grabbing because this thing looks massive. I don't have any Thundercats, but this thing is like pushing me so far off the edge to go, you can start a whole Thundercats collection from Super 7.
Come on, Jeffrey, you know you want
it's like, come on in. It's like I feel like the Sword of Omens is hypnotizing me. Like, yes, I do want this. So it looks really incredible, and I'm just amazed at everything. You know, I hadn't heard too much about PowerCon except these last few years, and it's like, whoa! So seeing all these different lines, and it's just so much more than Masters of the Universe. Of course, seeing the Mondo figures, that's another line that I've managed to hold off on, but I keep seeing all these releases and all these cool looking figures. It's like, do you really not want to have these in your collection? And I just feel like every time I watch these videos, and you especially, Jay, because you're like a pusher of figures, it's like, yeah, I can do that. I can find a place for it.
He's a bad influence.
It's like a drug habit.
It is.
You know you want it.
It's like high school all over again.
Oh my god, it's crazy. That's nuts. Yeah, no, it's been an incredible experience all around, and you know what? I think all of us who were there just were in awe about the overall scope and size. I mean, Toy Stories, you've been to a PowerCon, but from what I understand, it was a much smaller event when it was in
Anaheim. It was at Anaheim Convention Center, which is a quite small venue. It's basically like a larger ballroom at a hotel. It wasn't that big. Wow. Yeah, it was quite, I guess, intimate scale, but Mattel was there, Mondo was there, Super7 was there, all the big heavy hitters were there, but it was not that large. It was pretty cool, and I did get to meet Pixel Dan at the last one when it was in Anaheim, which was really nice, and it was still at the kind of mid height of the pandemic, so we all had masks on, and I'm sure like this was before Michael and I knew each other. We probably we always joke around. We probably walked right past each other and didn't even know it because we were both there. But I can only imagine how wonderful the one in Ohio must have been. And it looks like the convention has now expanded. So many new companies, and it's incredible to see how big it's become and this awesome venue for all these indie toy companies. So I think it's helping to raise that up to another level.
It really was just it's as John said, it's not San Diego Comic-Con. Nothing can be San Diego Comic-Con except maybe New York Comic-Con. But these are two gigantic Comic-Cons, and they are like sardines. Like literally, when you're at one of these conventions, you are like this. You are fighting for space, right? Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. And they end up becoming line cons in many ways because you're just lining up for exclusives half the time. And there's this whole culture behind that, right? This one felt very, very open. This one felt intimate. This one felt like you were part of something special. I felt that every time I turned a corner, something was happening. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of things to do. There was a lot of room. There was a lot of camaraderie. Like a lot of people were just there to meet each other. You know what I mean? And it was amazing. Awesome. It was amazing. My experience is going to be different from everybody else's experience. But I think if you're a content creator and you're out there, I was shocked at how many people actually came up to me that day. I mean, Carlos, I'm pretty sure you met a lot of people. Oz, you met a ton of people, and John, I mean, you probably met a whole bunch of people as well. Unfortunately, John doesn't have his face, front and center, so it's harder to recognize John. But I mean, yeah,
that's why I got the hat.
He branded himself clearly.
Hey,
That's
it
you.
was so crazy because he came to me and he's like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And I was like, as soon as I saw the hat, I was like, "Emerald Knight." He's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" But yeah, I mean, talking about the indie part, dude. Tell me about Ramen Toys.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
He was
Ramen.
stealing the show. There was so
Ace is here,
much
right?
in what he on display this past
Amazing
weekend.
stuff.
The He-Man and the Skeletor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa, dude.
Man.
You know, when I saw that,
That's brave.
I instantly-
That's brave. You know that, right?
I instantly
That's
thought to myself, C&D letter. I'm like, I'm not covering this because somebody sent me pictures of it, and I'm like, we didn't want to poke the bear again at Toy
Yeah.
Habit, so I stayed away from that.
Yeah.
But
Even though I
but
think it's really cool that you're doing that.
But
Ace.
listen, I'm gonna tell you. Aside from Mondo, of course, I was able to talk to Hector and with Peter for a while. I mean, I know Peter because he's from here, from Florida. He's local, but I was able to meet Hector in person, and we were talking a lot. They knew we were leaving before the panel, so they kind of like give me some hints of what was coming. But aside from that, the thing that pretty like much, I mean, of course, the Cat's Lair, but what impressed me the most was those two Masters of the Universe from Ramen Toys. Like the skull on those things, the heads, like everything, I was blowing away from that. But yeah, really brave.
Yeah. They're like, Ramen is famous for poking the bear. Okay, that's their thing.
We can poke the bear. We're not going to poke the bear anymore.
They like to poke that bear, but that, you know what? In this instance, though, it's my understanding that for that particular prototype, what they're trying to do is they're trying to pitch it to Mattel. They're trying for an official license. So that's huge for everything going forward. So yeah, it's a continuous thing, and we're gonna see more of that. I think we're gonna see that. Hopefully, Braystar. Oh, sorry, the Marshall.
The Marshall.
I ordered mine. I ordered mine.
So did I.
I put my order in that weekend. So Ace,
my God.
You got that.
3-0. You saw that, Jay, in person?
Oh god.
So gorgeous.
Oh my god.
So gorgeous.
Oh my god.
And the Aces of Aviation. How cool were those?
Yeah.
I put my order in for that too, Ace.
So there's
There's
Ramen right there. Thanks for the love and support, guys.
You have the extra head.
Yeah, I've got them. I've got them here. Do you want me to show them?
Beautiful.
They are
beautiful.
They are.
Yeah, Eyes. I have an interview with Eyes, and he was such an amazing guy. And I mean, it was like, to me, it was like talking to a friend. You know, like he was super like open with me, like, you know, answering all the questions I have, some doubts on this and that. But I mean, listen, such a great guy. And yes, like you say, Jay, he told me they're trying to get that license for Masters of the Universe. But I told him, listen,
hope so.
With all honesty, the Sculptor apparently is a guy from Argentina. But I told him, listen, this is one of the most beautiful Masters of the Universe figures I ever seen in my life in this scale. Like the face sculpts. You can, Jay, tell me about the axe on Sculptor.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, it looks like it's part cartoon, part real life. You know what I mean? That's what they were going. I think that's what they were going for. And it's even got a translucent. It's actually transparent on the inside, right?
Like
which is something that's never been done, right? It's just absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm interested in the Sculptor, the Argentinian Sculptor. I met and I wonder if it's the same one. I don't remember the name, but I did meet a sculptor that did some incredible custom head sculpts. That was from Argentina.
You're from Argentina, so
yeah, I'm Argentinian, so that's why I asked. And I'm wondering if maybe it's the same guy because he was extremely talented, and he was supposed to commission something for me.
The heads, the alternate heads for He-Man, they're beautiful. The best He-Man face sculpt I ever seen in my life. Period.
That's awesome.
They're
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
We got a lot of people coming in from Jeffrey's channel. Stick man, good to see you. Jamlin is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Aftam is in the house. No, he's right. He's right here. He's right there. he is
Right, that way.
right there.
Yeah.
It's always opposite.
So, lot of great friends. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's awesome. And you know what? Everybody's basically asking us to what's happening, and we're just relaying what we remember and how things were going that weekend. But a lot of you guys we saw at the convention, so hello, good to see you again. Thank you so much. Ramen Toys in the house. Good evening, Jay, John, Carlos, Jeffrey, Sorceress, and chat. It's Monday morning here in the factory. Wow, Monday morning already.
Back to work.
All the way back to work. It's crazy. Ramen never stops. Ramen never stops.
Never.
Silver K is in the house. It's a full-blown orgy.
It's a
Not fully
it's a
yet.
6-way. Right, Silver K?
It's the human centipede. It's the human centipede.
I'm gonna tag out now.
No, that's a bit too much there.
Nolan's in the house. What's going on, Nolan?
It's an inside joke.
I know.
No.
Alpha Magnus, he does an amazing Dunkin' Donuts. His Dunkin' Donuts, I'll show some pictures later. He did amazing Dunkin' Donuts. He did an amazing Prince Adam. He was an amazing cosplayer, just out of this world. Robert's Infinite Realms from is in the house. Short answer: no, it's not worth the money. Enough said. You know what? Let's get into that right now, guys. We've been recovering and talking all about it. So
We're talking about what?
It's been a great night. But yeah, let's get onto it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, guys. Let's just bring this in. So at PowerCon 2023, many of us and everybody at home was able to find out about something which has been anticipated, and people have been waiting for this. I mean, I've been waiting for this. I think a lot of us Turtle fans have been waiting for this. And I have to say, when I saw it in person, I was shocked. This thing is absolutely gigantic. I, of course, am talking about, if I can find the picture. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I am, of course, talking about
With both of us up here, it'll get full quick.
Oz, you okay? All right, sorry, Oz, I'm gonna mute you for a second. All right, we are talking about the sewer playset from NECA. Oh my god, guys! Now, I'm gonna put it out there. This is not a small playset. This thing is absolutely massive. Seriously, this thing, like, if you look at the size of this thing compared to, I think that's Manny who's demonstrating it right now.
Yeah, that's money.
Yeah, his hands are like. This is not a shoebox, okay? This thing is gigantic. That is the full size turtle van, right? That is the full size turtle van by NECA. This thing actually fits directly inside it with room to spare. And then you see everything that it comes with on the other side. This thing is absolutely ginormous. What were your first reactions to this, guys? Like, seriously, like Toy Sorceress, when you found out about this, what was your reaction to this thing?
I mean, it's cool. You can set up all your turtles sitting in the little living room. If you're lucky enough to get that accessory set with the baby turtles and put the little TV set there, would look awesome. But $300 is excessive for something that is basically a diorama. I mean, it's not very complicated. There's no moving parts to it. It's 3 walls with some cool furniture in it. Maybe this thing could cost like $125, and that's kind of pushing it. But $300 is a lot of money for this, sewer diorama set. They've done other like little city pieces and things of that nature. So it's cool that they're doing this. But I think it's just really priced a bit too high for what it is. It's very simplistic. There's not any moving parts in it whatsoever. There's no play value. It's really just a little environment. And like I joked around, I bought the Mutant Mayhem $79 sewer playset, which has incredible play features. And of course, it's for smaller figures, but and it's made for kids. But for $79, you can have a ton of fun with it. It's got all sorts of cool things to display with it. And this is a neat looking diorama, but it's $300. And that's an awful lot of money for just this piece.
Yeah, Jeff, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, seriously, what are we looking at here? Like, what is this thing?
You know, as a long time action figure collector, you always have to look at the price tag first. It's like, all right, let's see how much this thing is. They got me with that Hot Toys Deluxe Joker, and it's like, oh, that looks great. And it's like, it's 500. It's like, whoa, way too much. This is just right in that same category. It's like, this is one of those deals where you could almost convince yourself, yeah, I could probably make that. And it doesn't feel, you know, like when you look at the Cats Lair, for example, it's like, no way I'm going to try something like this. But looking at this, yeah, I could piece together a couple brick walls and paint up some stuff. And I think just that thought of being able to do it yourself kind of makes $300 a whole lot. Somebody in the chat mentioned, hey, you know, this is half of the Cats Lair. The Cats Lair is such a massive scale, and you see where your money's going to. I mean, you think of the His Tank. That was $2.99. That has light up parts, places to put your figures, removable elements to it. This is just, hey, here's the turtles chilling and maybe watching TV, and hey, here's somebody bringing in some pizza. There's like nothing else to this set, and I just don't see value to it. So
it's just absolutely nuts. I mean, Jorge, John, you guys were there. Oz, we were there. This thing's massive. It really is. It's actually pretty big, but is it $3.99 big? Sorry, is it $2.99 big? Is it $2.99 wow factor? What, like, Jorge? What? Sorry, Carlos. What are your thoughts?
Well, man, I have some dioramas that I use to take pictures and to do my reviews on YouTube, and I have one big piece right there that a friend did to me, and I think that's like 1, 2, 3, 6 parts, like walls with different scenarios. Like I have an alley, I have an inside building and everything. Dude, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a stretch. It's way too much. I mean, you just mentioned the Thunder Tank. Thunder Tank. How much was the Thunder Tank?
It was I think it was
$450.
$49.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so and you have this beast that has all movable parts, like such an amazing piece that doesn't fit there. I mean, the Thunder Tank is way bigger than that thing, and let me tell you, like, I mean, I think it looks cool, but at least it's not for me to spend that money. People can say, oh well, but you spent $500 in a Battle Cat from Mondo. Yes, but everything depends on priorities also when you're collecting, right? Like, some people may not consider that like a lot of money or anything like that, but to me, 3 pieces of wall with, like, Sorceress says, like, just like a few furniture inside, you don't have even a TV that turned on, you know, like
Yeah.
It's pretty much that. I believe, because people were asking me on my Instagram account, people were asking me about the roof, because some people saw a picture of the kind of like a street on top of the roof, right? That's my boy right there, the Battle Cat. So I did a review on that one on my channel. If you want to check, it's an amazing piece. But I think that thing, even if they put the roof on that, is too expensive, at least to me. You know, I don't want to step on anybody's feet or anything like that, but at least to me, it's way too expensive, man.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot. So that's
the thing I'm talking about. That's the thing.
Yeah. But the worst part about this isn't even included, Carlos. This is a foam board. That's a foam core board. You look.
Yeah, it's made out of foam core.
That's made of foam core. Somebody printed this. Somebody printed this. Actually, wait. No, I know exactly what this is. This is the Turtles in Disguise 4-pack. It's actually the inside.
The box.
It's the box in the inside.
Oh.
You cut it away from the, and they just put it on a foam core piece.
Oh, wow!
That's all this is. I can.
And you know, I thought that was part of the set.
No, that's not included.
Wow.
You know, Jay, Big Rib said it best. You're paying $100 a wall.
Yeah.
There's 3 walls.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
This is just crazy. You know, Impossible Pie. How can a 3-story set be $115, but this is $300?
Yes, you're right. You're right. The set that goes on top of that, it was how much? 150.
100 at the time. At the time, it was 115. Now it's 150. But
Well,
this
Still a good deal.
That's more worth it because you're buying like a display shelf, right?
Exactly.
So,
like
And a layer display shelf too.
that's justifiable.
Does anybody own this one? The cartoon version? Because this one's going for buco bucks right now.
I think they redid that, right? Like there's a
They
second
did.
run on that.
They did a realistic version. So there's a standard version which is much more realistic. It's actually for, like, you know, regular street thing. This one actually has a channel 6 background. It's got the night sky. It's got
for the cartoon.
Okay.
Right, very cartoony, right? The other one's more realistic, right? But think about this, and he's right, and they're right. This was at the time, this was $115. If we go to Big Bad Toy Store, if we go to Entertainment Earth right now, and we type in diorama, hold on,
Still there?
Diorama. They just street dio. Yeah. Hold on. See if it'll come up. There it is. Yeah. No. Shoot. It's still only 114. Wow.
Yeah, I got mine on pre-order right now.
Yeah,
That's
that's a great value.
That is cheap. And look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, that's a kick in the
I'm gonna
teeth.
have to get one of those
Yeah.
for my turtle display now that I have no shelves.
Yeah.
For one
Guys,
item.
I think it's too much. I mean, if you put that side to side compared to this one, I mean, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel you get a lot more option with this display than you do with the other ones too, because you can also put the figure in, so like they're poking out the window and stuff like that when you got this display.
Oh, you have an
options.
inside part that you can put figures.
yeah.
On the other side, yeah, they can be facing like outside the window.
Right.
That's cool.
So you can do that with them with this. Whereas, again, the sewer layer, it's 3 walls and a floor. It's a glorified TV set, you know, basically. And, you know, you can put a couple of couches in there for people to sit on. Put the van out of it, yeah. But, like, if you wanted to put it like a mechanic shop, like Donnie building the van, there's no space left to put Donnie or a workbench or anything like that. If you want to do a really cool setup, you don't get a whole lot of options with the 3 walls. You know, previously in like player displays where it's like you have one set up like Donnie's lab attached to another one that's set up like the kitchen with another one that's set up that looks like that living room set. Like is a cool display. And if you got that sold for $300, basically $100 for each section, that's more what the price he had in mind for something like this. But when they're like $300 and it's this one room,
that's what I was saying. That thing should be like $125, like $129.
Yeah.
I want to give a huge shout out to McFly Toys. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. In my opinion, if you are a diehard fan of NECA Toon, it is worth it. I will be buying one. Happy Sunday off. Here's the thing, okay? And here's something for everybody. We're not saying don't buy this thing, okay? Even though I'm not going to buy it, even though I don't think anybody on the panel is going to buy it, we're not saying don't buy it. If you think that $300 is good value for you, that's fine. You know, I've gone on record multiple times saying, you know what, I'm picking up the Thunder Tank, 450 freaking bones, man. You know, this thing was not cheap, man. 450 for the 450 for the Thunder Tank, okay. And as Carlos said earlier, freaking Battle Cat, man, $500 for this Battle Cat, okay. But it's all in what you perceive as value, right? This is very important to say that, right? The thing is that, and I'm going to speak for myself. I think everybody can jump in when they want. The Thunder Tank, it's just so iconic. It's an iconic piece which will never come around again. No one's going to make a Thunder Tank like this. That's why I jumped on it. No one is going to build another Battle Cat like this. This is ridiculous. The amount of articulation, you just have to go to Badass Reviews, take a look at that overall, look at the at the Battle Cat. You will see the foot, the toes have individual articulation on each toe. It is ridiculous how crazy that thing is.
Stop showing off your Mondo stuff.
He's lonely, Carlos. I'm still waiting on mine. He's lonely.
Really?
We're all. Carlos is so lucky. He's like
big that thing is.
He's one,
Look at an actual cat.
It's like
The
a small
size of a
child.
house cat.
That's size
It's
of a
an
cat,
actual
yeah.
cat.
That's
he's the
huge.
size of a freaking cat. Now, McFly
Mhm.
Toys, just like that, just like Carlos, just like me, just like Toy Sorceress with the Thunder Tank, all of us.
Yep.
You know, it is whatever you. Not everyone's gonna buy that Cat's Lair. That Cat's Lair is $750 freaking dollars. Okay,
That's
not
crazy.
everyone's gonna buy it, right? Not everyone's gonna buy it. But you know what? It's up to you. You know, it's your money. You're an adult. You can do whatever the heck you want with it, man. And you know what? You'll probably be laughing because come a year from now, that thing's going to be $1,200. You know what I mean?
Yep.
People are going to be asking buku bucks for that set,
Mhm.
and you're going to
Yeah.
be laughing, right? But
if they
you know,
offered the other parts of the sewer layer with it, like the kitchen and like the little
Yeah.
workshop or whatever it is, if it had like 3 sections to it, even if the other 2 sections weren't as big, if they were like
Small
if they were half
add-ons
if they were half the
connected
size
through.
and connected,
Right.
all 3, that would be awesome, and maybe it would make it a little worth it. Have the street lid on the top so you can park
Yep.
your freaking turtle van on the top.
Yes.
And the main
Yes.
section and 2 little subsections, maybe that's pushing it. That could be worth $300, but that one little 3-wall living room is extremely expensive. Mhm.
Turtle Lair says Toy Sorceress is coming out with the truth. Toy Sorceress is preaching the truth. She knows what she's talking about.
So,
Sunday.
I mean, honestly, when you think about it, the plastic, the design is fairly simple. They've sculpted in some brick walls and a pipe, and then some furniture pieces. There's not much there, right? So, it's a lot of money. There's not like a ton of like really detailed tooling or anything like that. So I don't know where they're coming up with that price.
John, what were you going to say?
well, so speaking from the toy photographer perspective, seeing this, I mean, this is really something that's in toy photography that you could use day in, day out for, like, if you're focusing on turtles, and if you're like they had mentioned, if your main line is the Toon Turtles, I mean, if you see value in that, by all means, go for it. But
Great.
for that price point, I can have somebody, and I've had people make something of that size and scale for way less, like for 150, 175.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to me, when I saw that, when they mentioned, I think I was with you, Jay, when they said it was $299, I was like, for both, right? No, for one. Okay. And then you're okay,
you and I fell over.
I'm out.
We literally fell the hell over. We were like, what the?
Yeah.
I think John caught me. He was I was falling over. Does like, no, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
that was just, I can't really justify that price point for just that. I mean, but again, I do see the value. I mean, I could see the value. And now, if it was like a cutout of Castle Grayskull or Snake Mountain with a lot of like intricacies of in there, and and then you're speaking more to my heart, and I'm kind of okay. I can and
Even at that, put it under your Grayskull or under either side of it. Like if that opens up and you can set it on top of.
Right.
That adds more value to it because it's adding on this box.
Yeah. Afton Child says, "Hey Jeff, did you see the Blue Beetle yet?"
Not yet. I'll probably see it when it comes out next month on Max.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait out on it. It's just these days with theaters, it's a hit and miss for me. Ramen Toy, oh my god, thank you so much for the $50 Hong Kong super chat, my friend. You are amazing. In my opinion, if a backdrop needs licensing fees, it is ridiculous. Created characters are IPs, yes, but a background scene, well, yes, if the design is unique to TMNT, but think about it, it comprises non-IP items in a background. This is a freaking sewer.
Yeah.
This is a sewer. How many people? First of all, not many people have been down in the sewer. Granted, but this thing is a freaking sewer. Like, how many sewers could they? Like, it's like if you go downtown, if you go into like an older city like New York, right? It's made of brick. Like, sewers are actually, they're these round circles. And how can you copyright something like a sewer? I don't know how that's even possible. But I'll tell you right now, there are a lot of people. I've seen it. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but if you go to Ramen Toy right now, so many people have been just yelling at Ramen, make a sewer playset for us, because this is absolutely ridiculous. They're literally yelling at Ramen, begging Ramen to get this thing made. What are your guys' thoughts about that? Should NECA be allowed to copyright some things like that? I think that would be stupid.
No,
You
no.
know, Jeff, what are your thoughts? Like, just straight up, what's
Well, I mean, you have that Extreme Sets sewer
Exactly.
backdrop, which does basically the same thing. I mean, it's like I don't need to spend $300 to put some turtles in a background set with them. It's like, okay, thanks, guys. And that's why I think these values of play sets where there's different elements, different levels to them. It's like, cool, that's more, but just something that's one level where there's no interaction, there's no doors to open for them to come in and out, and it's just there. I don't see it. And then the point of hey, we're gonna copyright this sewer design so you guys, nobody else can use it. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity for a company like Ramen to go, hey, here's a sewer backdrop. We'll put TMNT on the other side and just call it a day. I mean, it's just weird. I think we could all have fun with some backgrounds, and some companies try to take a little bit more, grease the wheels, try to be like, hey, let's see if we can go 300 for this set. And I think this is a really bad example of it, just trying to see what they can milk their customer base for just because they slap Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it.
Absolutely. Russell Lemieux is commenting to Jeff. This is a probe. NECA is seeing what people are willing. Actually, he's echoing exactly what you're saying. This is a probe. NECA is seeing what people are willing to pay. This will increase the price on everything, and I only bought two. I only bought two.
Nice job, Russell.
Well, thank you, Russell. Thank you for pushing that on us, Russell. We appreciate that.
That from what John said, like about the toy photography perspective, right? I mean, I use a lot of like different elements, and you can use this to take good toy photography. But my point is, the same. I'm with John in that aspect. Like the diode that I have has magnets, has lights, has everything, and one of them is like 6 walls, that you can replace, put there, like switch, create different, like scenarios and everything, and has lights and everything. And I pay like maybe like $200 for that thing.
Yeah.
And it's huge, it's massive. And I can storage there that everywhere, and it's super well done, like super quality. It's not like the cheap stuff. And I pay like $200 for that, like to my toy photography. Like, I know it's cool, it looks cool for a display, but picture this.
I mean,
not everybody.
Do you guys feel like NECA is trying to push how much money can we get out of our fan base?
Yep.
Right.
Well,
I like they're pushing the envelope because their products are typically priced very reasonably, right? Their action figures are not that expensive. For the amount of tooling and quality that they give you in the paint apps. So that they're able to produce things at a reasonable price. Now, given that this has very little tooling, it's a fairly simplistic diorama playset, I think that they're like, well, people are willing to pay X for this thing and X for that thing. So can we get $300 for this, sewer living room? That's how I feel like they're trying to kind of play the fan base and see how much money they can get out of us. Because it honest to God, like that thing does not cost them whatever their profit margin and all that stuff has to be. There's no way that $300 is the price they need to sell it for to justify it. No. I highly doubt it. Knowing the way that they can build things, I don't think so.
But you could 3D print a lot of that stuff too, and it just wouldn't cost nowhere near amount. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Did you see the detail on that crusty old sofa? That's like $150 value right there.
Absolutely.
We'll get Aaron. We'll get Pains to make one.
They're like, hey, if Jay is paying $600 for the Cat Slayer, he can pay $300 for this, right?
Well, especially since he got 2.
I mean, once again, I don't disagree with you, Carlos, but at the same time, it's just one of these things. It's subjective at the end of the day, right? Plastic Soul Collector. The street scene is a way more complicated than the sewer as well. You know what? It's got multiple levels. You can put people in the back. We talked about that. You can change up the background scene. There's just a lot of different play features that are, and what NECA was saying at the time was you can actually, which I thought was hilarious. They were saying that, oh yeah, you can take everything out and put in the see, so everything's in there, but if you take everything out, it's a garage. It's like, what? What do you?
That's an expensive garage.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe they're gonna dual purpose that sofa for Simpsons. I don't know.
Like honestly, for $300, they could have gave this thing a freaking lid that looked like the street and had a spot to park your damn turtle van. You're not going to park the van inside your living room. It makes no sense. You would park it up on the street of New York. You're not parking it down in the sewer layer. So that's lame. Sorry, guys, but give us a freaking lid to this thing and at least make it useful.
The pink sofa transform into a bed.
There you go.
It's a sofa bed that makes it worth it right there.
I mean, little things like what Toy Sorcerer said, like have the lid on it, but then have a ladder off in the inside on the bottom floor with the manhole, and you can lift it, slide it open, and they can climb up and down. I mean, just little things like that make a difference.
That other level.
Exactly, Jeff. Exactly. Actually, Jeff, here's another one for you. The best thing about the street set from Snowglare, the best thing about the street set is the wide availability. Some stores offer discounts and cheap or free shipping, so you can get closer to $100. There's that Jeff mentality of waiting for a better deal.
Always about the better deal. My comic store has that street set. Yeah.
Patient.
Yeah, the street set, that's pretty much the go-to for a lot of toy photographers too. I've seen that a lot of people using that. I mean, it's been used countless times. I'm glad that they re-released it, and for at that decent price. It wasn't like 200, which I probably wouldn't have paid. If it was 199, I probably wouldn't pay that. 115, yeah, I can probably swing that.
Yeah, but as you said, it's multi-use, right? Like it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be
exactly
a turtle like this is very specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm not gonna probably put Batman in there or
I mean,
and it's very cartoonish. That's the problem. Like for photography, like you need to use very cartoonish like action figures in order to have something cool there.
Right.
Yeah, but like it doesn't look good if you put like a McFarlane toy action figure there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And on that, we have another guest coming in really quick, but on that note, I mean, technically, you could probably put Spider-Man in there, right? Why? Well, Spider-Man, like on a very iconic scene, he ripped off the Venom suit, on the front cover, and hung it on in the sewers, right? So there are certain things you can cross over with this, but not very many.
Right.
They're just like I guess you could say that Batman went into the sewers to get Killer Croc. There's
a lizard out there too.
Yeah, there's a lizard too, but it's very rare. You know what I mean? Like it's a very, very rare thing. Oh my gosh. So, I want to give a huge shout out to Jeff W. Thank you, my friend, for the $10 super chat. You're amazing. Jay, what a great panel you have assembled here. There's no way one can justify two of these TMNT layers being equal in value to the Super7 Cat's Lair. Just freaking ridiculous. Buy the Cat's Lair for your turtles. That's really a good point.
Doesn't it make the Cat's Lair now feel like it's such a great value? This puts it in perspective. Right? Like, way to go, Brian Flynn, for giving us all you did for his $650.
Thank you, Jeff W, for that. That's awesome. Definitive Toys, my friend, thank you for the $10 super chat. You're amazing. Not to mention, you still need to buy accessories pack. Oh, this is true, actually. This is a big sticking point. This is a big sticking point that a lot of people have been bringing up. You still need to buy the accessories pack. Donatello's lab and all the other parts are yet to be released. You're probably looking close to $1,000 all in on the set. Definitive Toys, you do make a good point. I'm going to be bringing in our special guest in a second. Definitive Toy makes a great point. There are actually supposed to be 3 of these dioramas. There's going to be the living room set that we see right now. There's going to be the kitchen set that's going to be released later this year, and then there's going to be the training room set. Arguably, the training room set is the one with the biggest value. It's got punching bags, it's got weapons racks, it's got a whole bunch of different features. This one, as nice as it is, as Definitive Toy says, it's no surprise that they did this. I mean, this is exactly their modus operandi. They went ahead and they released this set, right? But at the same time, they went ahead and also released this set, right? Which is don't they say it right here. Don't forget to add the TMNT accessory set. Don't forget, okay? And how much is the accessory set? The accessory set is $60.
Wow.
Is that still up for pre-order right now?
Total is $80.
Is that up right now?
That's up right now. Yeah.
Okay, because I missed out on this one. I'm actually going to go order it.
Go. Everybody who needs it.
It sold out at Target. I haven't found it since. And
yeah, total with shipping and everything is like about 80 something.
Yeah, I believe this is up for the next 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me on that.
What does it say when it ships?
It says December delivery.
But again, you can take this accessory set and put it in an extreme set and be the same thing for like half the cost. I mean, again, these accessories are cool, but all you need is just the backdrop. You don't need to spend $300 on a little box for that.
Those accessories padded out, so you don't even need the layer.
Right.
Thanks again to Definitive Toys for that. And if you go by the Mad Hatter suggestion or the Flipper Frank suggestion, you can always go the other route and head over to AliExpress and try your luck there. I mean, it's things are happening everywhere, guys. There are options. There are options. I want to bring in another special guest today, and he actually could answer a lot of great questions. Guys, please welcome Renders Effects. What's going on, Renders?
Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing great, brother. How are things going on your end of the world? What's going on?
Doing good. Just really, it was really a pleasure to meet everybody at PowerCon this year, and I was there last year, and just wanted to confirm and agree with what some of the points shared here were that man, it like doubled in size. Last year it was cool, but it had moved from Anaheim. There was that sort of vibe, especially with Val, that everything was kind of new. Mattel was no longer a part of the whole big campaign there. That was controversial, whether or not that was going to land. Man, not only did it land, it stuck the landing. And then, I think so many folks had a good time last year that it just went all out this year. And it looks like it's really going to be probably the United States, toy event in the country. I mean, that seems like it's becoming the premier event of the year.
We were just talking about how this is going to be, at least for indie developers and indie creators like yourself, this is just a mecca. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how many when you were walking around, Renders, how many different indie productions were there? I mean, I counted at least
So many,
20 or 30, and not the ones with the bigger booths. I'm just talking about even the smaller booths, right?
Yeah, it's really inspiring. And right now, I think you, Jay, and Hatter, Mad Hatter, have both mentioned we're in this toy renaissance. You've got folks like Ramen Toy that are, frankly, they're inspiring people to see what you can go do, right? Ramen Toy came in an interesting time where there was these big players charging a lot of bucks, but there was particular holes to fill. And then you get these players that are starting to build up, gain momentum, being able to show innovation that should be pushing the big boys. They should be inspiring these larger companies to offer more value, because folks like Ramen Toy and Savage Crucible and these other up and coming brands and properties, it's amazing. It's a toy renaissance right now. And then you have jokesters like myself that you go to an event like that, you get inspired, and then you go home and you start, if you're a sculptor, a designer, prototyper, you start designing, and you start trying to work with folks that may be interested in your ideas. I mean, it's a completely different time. You no longer have to be a big, massive corporation to have a piece of the pie. And I think that's an amazing and beautiful thing.
It's just incredible. And so many different creators were there. You were there yourself. You just popped in really quickly, picked up your exclusives and walked out. It was awesome. Toy Stalker, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Another great retailer, Toy Stalker, guys. You should definitely check them out. And he does mention, if anybody's interested on the Ramen's Masters of the Verse heads at the PowerCon exclusive translucent stands, there's limited stock available at Toy Stalker, which is excellent. I'm just going to go ahead and showcase a little bit of that. So, oops, wrong one. Hey, Jeff. Hold on. Where the heck am I? Where'd I go? Hold on for a second. Sorry, Toy Stalker. I was just going to do this. All right. So, Going to bring that back up. So yeah, guys, if you were at PowerCon, Ramen Toy did actually have a few limited sets of the Masterverse heads. These things are freaking
Beautiful.
awesome. If you
Yeah,
guys
they
haven't
were
already picked one of
crazy.
these up, these things are incredible. Like seriously.
Yes.
They come in 2 flavors, so you can pick them both up as a set. $30 for the pair. They will fit your Masterverse and your Masterverse, the Master Universe Classics. Unfortunately, the Origins head has since sold out, but they are available, and you can also pick up the exclusive Master's most powerful stand in the universe. This was amazing. Oz did a full unboxing of this on his channel. Head over there and check that out. It was a beautiful unboxing. And this one's the super exclusive version, which is translucent. So you couldn't get this anywhere else. So Toy Stalker has those available for you guys if anybody's interested. Thank you, Toy Stalker, for that. And I did want to give a huge shout out to JG for the 99 for the $1 super chat. Thank you, super sticker. Thank you so much, JG. Really appreciate all the support, guys. You guys are doing awesome. Christopher Voss says, Mega J, those upcoming brands like Ramen Toys are doing for humanoid action figures with 30-party companies did for Transformers about 10 to 15 years ago. This is interesting, and you know what? It is that gray area. Let's put it to the panel, guys. What do you think about the third-party KO scene? Is it something that we should be looking at? Because the question really is, if nobody else is doing it, if all these companies have these IPs which they're sitting on and nobody, like, for whatever reason they can't do anything with it, should another company come in and do something with it? What are your thoughts, everybody?
I think so. I mean, I'm going to be biased and say, yeah. I mean, seeing the 80s Commanders from Ramen were, amazing. Seeing the Marshall up close, I mean, that, to me, that was like beautiful, and I ended up pre-ordering it right then and there after I saw it. But I mean, no, I think it's just, yeah, it's only fair because if us as fans and collectors, something that we love, if it was something like dear to you as a kid and you want to see something like a modern version of that, with today's talent and tooling and everything, then why not? I mean, why not give fans what they want and what they're willing to pay money for? If people are willing to pay for it, then I mean, by all means, I think they would should do it. I mean, again, you get into the legality of everything, but still, I think, I mean, I feel like I'm going to be so happy when I get that Marshall because, I was it
looks beautiful.
It does. And it just, it's going to go great in my collection. And, like the Masters of the Verse heads and just anything out there that they're creating that's kind of, tied to, an IP that's owned by a different company. I'm all for that. Because again, I mean, I'm a big fan of Mask growing up, and they just hasn't been that resurgence of it. I mean, I would love to see that Hasbro or whoever pick that up and just run with it. And if it takes a smaller independent company to do that, by all means, go for it.
I love third parties, dude. Like, just look at this guy. I have this Wei Yang oversized MP10 from Transformers. And this piece is beautiful, and I was always looking at the Hasbro one, and I was like, wow, that's too small. And this thing has like light up future on the gun and everything, ain't transformed and everything. And look at the size of this thing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like and the quality is incredible. I mean, third parties, dude. Why
Seems
not?
like that's where the quality usually is a lot better too with third parties.
Yep. Why not? I love what Ramen Toys is doing.
Absolutely. Used to be back. Hey, your third party guys definitely were kind of like that more bootleg knockoff, kind of like you felt like it was cheap, but they've grown so much, and there are a lot of IPs that the big companies are sitting on because they fell out of favor years ago. And there's no presence of them now, so they don't think people will buy it. But part of the reason that nobody's interested in buying these things, there's no media for it. Unless there's a media out there, they're not willing to take a chance on a license, it seems. But instead, they just sit on it. There's a lot of IPs stuff, Riders, Exo Squad, like all these really great toys from late 80s going into the 90s that you don't see. And honestly, if third parties are the guys who are willing to make it happen for us, then I'm all for it, because I'm tired of big boys to, they got to shit or get off the pot.
Hey, Ramen Toys with visionaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiral Zone, Bionic 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll throw this out there. There are organizations or smaller, players or smaller companies or upstarts that are starting to occur. It looks like in the market, but also keep in mind that the heavy hitters, your Mattel, your Hasbro, their legal teams are highly focused. For instance, won't name names here, but there's an organization or a smaller company that did amazing work on some backdrops that were great. They were fairly priced. They were ambiguous. They just played out we won't say who, but they just put out a very, it was a very ambiguous, definitely not something that you would think would be licensed. Just let's say a background, a play set, just a backdrop. And they were pursued. They were pursued by some of the big dogs, by some of the big players. And it didn't seem fair. It didn't even seem logical. But just wanted to say that it's when you hear some of the very experienced concerns coming from some of these other shops, it's because they've learned it the hard way. They've gotten a cease and desist. They've been challenged. So you do have folks like Ace who are pretty brilliant about it. They're thinking they don't want to be offensive. They just want to. When people ask me about Ramen Toy, I always say, going to PowerCon this year, one of the reasons was to meet Ace. One of the reasons was to shake hands with Jay, and to pick up these things. Yes, absolutely. But those folks, they just want to make cool things. They want to make cool products and do it in a cool way. They just want to make things and offer them to the public, but they are pursued, they are challenged. So it is tricky. So I think I've become a little bit more educated on how much of a challenge it is for these smaller players to go out there, make something innovative, but not catch the heat of the big players out there with the big legal teams, because it's real. They'll come after you, and they have, and they will. So it's a tricky thing, I think, to be innovative, to make something that the fans want, but not offend or challenge those big legal entities. But also perhaps, and I think, with this new master set that Ramen Toy put out there, maybe inspire them to work with them. I think that was a brilliant move, because it's a high quality, all the positive feedback that was received. Sculpting was top notch. The articulation looked great. There's a flood of press coming in for this stuff. And that is really how Sideshow got started with their action figures. They didn't have the license to start with. They were making some pretty amazing things on the action figure market. And then the licensors, the IPs, came to them and they negotiated. And I really hope that's the case for Ramen.
Ramen Toy, thank you for the $50 Hong Kong dollar super chat. We are more than happy to pay for license, but it has to be proportional to the size of sales. Warner Brothers needs us to pay 6 figures USD royalties for Silverhawks after the Super7 fiasco. Wow. Wow, that's astronomical. Oh my god, that's just crazy. Holy crap. I mean, like, how can any toy company expect to survive when they have to pony up that kind of cash? That's just insane. And I know, after working with several, like, I've worked with Disney, and I've worked with at the time it was Lucasfilm, now they're the same entity, and I know what the licensing requirements are for many companies. So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy kinds of money. And again, the worst part about that is that's like a certain region of the world. That's not even worldwide. You actually have to pay that for only Hong Kong or whatever, right? That's not actually the whole world. That's what really is sad about this whole situation. Afton Child says, I want to see Jada Toys do a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Hyrule Warriors and the Tears of the Kingdom. Actually, you know what, guys? What are your thoughts on Jada? Jada's really shaking things up right now. I think Jada is in a really good position to do some great work. What's everybody's thoughts on Jada?
Their Street Fighter line is incredible.
It's
I have
amazing.
one figure so far. I got Ryu, and he is so well articulated. The detail on him is awesome. That's the one right there. And and the price point, what was it, like $20, $25?
Yeah, 20,
is incredible.
20,
And I can't wait for the other waves. I mean, they're gonna do Ken, they're gonna do M Bison, they're gonna do Guile. They've got them all. It's like I want the whole set.
I'm chasing Chong Li right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jada is on right now between what they're doing with Street Fighter. They've got some other video game licensing. You know, they got the Mega Man coming out that looks gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Just
They've got
Jay was over the moon on those, right?
oh yeah, of course I am.
yeah,
I'm all in with
the-
Hello, why would that be?
Why would I be upset? Why would I be obsessed with Mega Man? I mean, you know, what
right?
Jamelin, no, not really. We're just discussing, you know, all the options that are out there, right? And it just so happened that Ramen is a company who's doing things, and people are asking Ramen. People are literally shouting at Ramen saying, "Make this playset." You know what I mean? Like, because again, there's a disconnect right now. The community, it's that ceiling, right? There's this ceiling that we're just not like. People just have perceived value for certain things. I mean, it didn't work with the Engine of Vengeance. It just didn't work, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who wanted it. There really are, but there are a lot of people who are like, it's the 40th anniversary of Ghost Rider. This is the last Ghost Rider. This is the latest Ghost Rider. You know, and what is everybody when you hear Ghost Rider, guys? What do you think? I think of a bike. I don't know about the rest of you, but I think of a freaking bike.
Always the motorcycle.
Maybe I'll think of a horse. I don't know, but I think of something that you ride, not something that you drive. If it was called Ghost Driver, I think I'd be now. Not to say that Robbie Reyes isn't a great Ghost Rider. I think, you know, he's got all the earmarks of a wonderful Ghost Rider. But if you're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Ghost Rider, you're looking at, you know, the history of Ghost Rider, right? I don't know. That's just, guys, somebody jump in. That's just me.
I was happy enough with the little retro, you know, the 3 3/4 inch version of Ghost Rider on his motorcycle with this awesome packaging, and that was like $15-$20, and you know, not $300 for that set, or however much it was. but what Ramen Toy is doing is incredible. I mean, his new car was awesome. I'm still waiting for a Bo and Luke though, because I wanted to get the General Lee, and I don't have a driver for him yet, so I haven't ordered it yet. But Ace, if you make Bo and Luke, I will order a General Lee orange, your Tiger Orange car.
It was beautiful. It was there in PowerCon.
Bigger than I expected too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Absolutely.
And also, man, talking about PowerCon, dude. Tell me about Mondo, dude. Tell me about Mondo.
Okay, Oz unfortunately had to go, guys, but thanks, Oz. We guys, definitely check out Oz Tremendous Toys on YouTube. Wonderful content creator. He had to go. He literally just sent us a private message. Something happened. Hopefully everything's okay. Oz, it was great to see you, brother. I got ambushed. I don't know, like for whatever reason they decided to. They're picking on me, man. I felt like I was being picked on.
Aw, poor Jay.
John was there.
Yeah, I saw it.
So mean to me, man.
Yeah.
No, it was all in good fun. Actually, here's what's crazy. Okay, everybody here, Jeffrey, Toy Sorceress, Badass Reviews, even John, Emerald Night Photo. Sorry, Render, not trying to keep you out of the loop. It's just this for you know, YouTubers, toy tubers right now. But they all know us, eh? Like I'm just gonna go ahead and pay, you know, so when I went to the Mondo booth, right? When I went to Mondo booth, they were like, it's Mega J. I'm like, who? What? Who are you guys talking about? Right? Like seriously, like I was shocked. They and that kept happening over and over again.
Yep.
I'm like, you know who I am, right? Like it was one of those moments where I'm like, you're like, yeah, we watch Toy Habits, we watch Mad Hatter, we watch all you guys. I'm like, Oh crap! We should watch what the hell we're saying now. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, the point is, you know, what I'm trying to say really is, if you make good content, if you actually have a voice, and you know what, they pay attention, right? This is what they do, and you know what, Jeffrey, you're making waves. Toy Sources, you're making waves. Badass Reviews is making waves. I mean, Badass Reviews just had the Thundercat, the Battle Cat before anybody else, and got a review out the same day. I mean, this is the crazy things that are happening. And don't think they're not looking at you, John. They are. They're like the toy photography that's out there. Renders, you got to watch out, because you know some of the things. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm serious. It was one of those surreal moments where people were like, I would go up to a place, and I would so you know what Carlos is saying. I would walk up to you know Mondo, for example, and they would say, hey, you know, you should come to the panel. I'm like, oh, what's up? And they're like, well, Jay is actually hosting the panel from Geek Dad Life, and you should try to crash it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding? Like, you know, they were that's what they were saying. It's like, you should crash the panel. You should make a scene. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Right. They ambushed me instead. You know, they were pointing at me. It was a lot of fun. It really was. It was just like, it felt like a lot of different communities coming together, and the companies are and again, Mondo's not the biggest company in the world, but they are doing big things. You know what I mean? And the fact that they're actually interacting with content creators like us the way they do at a show like PowerCon, I think that really made it feel like a much more intimate setting. It really made it feel special, right? Because Carlos, you had a ton of interviews that day, right? And you know what? They never. I don't know about you, but to me, they felt like they really wanted to talk. They really wanted to talk about everything.
Dude, one of the best experience I had was when I interviewed Brian Flynn from Super7. Like, after the interview with Brian, we were talking, and James Groman came and he introduced himself to Brian, and they start talking, and I was like, okay, these two monsters of the industry are here talking, so I'm leaving. You know, like, I feel like I shouldn't be here, right? Like conversation between two adults, and there you have like this little 10-year-old kid, right? And when I was planning to leave, Brian was like, no, stay and come. And he took me like inside the booth and everything, and we start talking between the three of us, and they were asking me my opinion about this and that. That was the coolest thing ever, dude. You know, and I mean, Mondo, Hector, Peter, they're super awesome dudes. Like, they're like the most humble guys like in the world. And like you said, Mondo is not the biggest company, but they're doing big things. You know, like, they're like Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a Toyota company, but they're doing big things, you know? And dude, I mean, I took Robo to the Mondo booth, and I introduced to the guys, and Robo was like, I don't want to see those toys. And I was like, dude, they have a Flock Panther. And he's like, damn, why? Dude, it was hilarious.
Oh my God, what'd you guys think of the retro vinyl Scareglow, the 15-inch that they announced?
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Like, oh my
God.
God. That's just...
Listen, they announced also the figure. They're gonna release like a Scareglow that is gonna go with the horse.
Yeah. So
Nightmare.
that's insane.
Absolutely. Ramen Toy, thank you for the $25 super chat, my friend. Jada Toys has gone from diecast vehicles to character license and action figures. So yes, the future is very, very bright for Jada products.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're big time into cars.
Yeah. The Scareglow figure, it's a soft vinyl figure, but I think they might have limited articulation. I'm not really sure what.
But that's cool.
That's why I got out of it.
It goes with the retro 5 POA. You know, 1980s original version of Scareglow in this awesome, huge, scale. Which to me, it's totally fine. If that's all he moves, I'd be super happy with him.
They're gonna do a 1/6 that goes with the horse too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna do one that goes with
A
it.
new one, yeah. That's
100%. I like the inner I like the inner glowing skeleton. I like the translucency of the figure. You know,
that's crazy.
everything about it is like a home run, right?
How much is gonna be? Did they tell something about that?
I don't think they gave pricing. Toys R Us, do you remember? I don't think they gave any pricing. I don't.
No,
think
they didn't give
No,
any
not
pricing.
not on those yet. No.
no pricing from what I remember.
I wonder what the sky sled's gonna be.
Oh God, you know what? They're gonna start doing vehicles. Like, oh my
Oh my
God,
God.
But I don't
It's
think it's gonna
all-
be that. I don't
it's
think it's gonna
all
be like
tool.
Battle
There's no
Cat
stickers
expensive.
on
I
there.
mean, it's like
No.
he's got a ride on this, right? He's
Yeah,
got a ride on
exactly.
it.
It's smaller than Battle Cat. It's only like if you look at a Sky Sled with Prince Adam for Origins, you know, it's not really the size. I think it's going to be like maybe 250, like much like a figure. I think it's going to be along those lines. It's crazy. Randall Gazik says once again, isn't this made to order product, a modified crowdfunded project with no cheers? I don't think it's. I know. Basically, you have 3 days to order the sewer, right? You have. So let me bring it back up for a second. You have 3 days. You have 3 days to. And Ramen asked me to do this anyway. So you have 3 days to order this sewer playset. Okay, you have 3 days to order it.
So it's time edition.
It's a time that's very much what it's like. It's going to be a timed edition, okay? And whatever orders they make in those 3 days, that's all they're going to produce. So when you think about it, and this is here's something that's very important. They could probably sell 400 or 500 of these, and they'll be fine. At $300 a shot, I think if they sell about 500 of these, they'll be okay. You know what I mean? Because how big could the MOQ be on one of these things? Like these things are gigantic. Like, you know what I mean? They're huge. You know, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I just want to throw out there while we're looking at it, the sculptor for this playset, his name is he goes by Zilu. I think on Instagram, right. Zilu 1984.
That's right.
And he's an amazing NECA sculptor who really focuses on. He has a really strong approach on like cartoon oriented sculpture work. But what's really cool about his work and a couple other sculptors when we were talking about Mondo, I just want to throw it out there, is that a lot of these sculptors for these shops that are, I mean, NECA's pretty big at this point, of course, but a lot of these sculptors started out as people that were, they would make customs. They were sculpting custom heads, and then their career kind of, they got attention from that arena, which was really neat. And Zilu, I think he's from the UK, but he did a fantastic job. I know that the cost, there's a lot of significant sticker shock on this thing, but from an artistic point of view, from a sculptural point of view, I will throw it to, I'll hand it to NECA. The attention to detail on, if you take that diorama and you look at the actual TMNT 80s cartoon, that's what they specialize in, man. It's like that one-to-one. So they've got the license and they make really good use of it in that regard. They're looking at screen stills, they're looking at reference photos, and they're doing an amazing, attention to detail. I think is really NECA's forte when it comes to leveraging their IP. And they did it beautifully here. And I think a lot of, very few people I think are looking at it who are TMNT 80s fans and saying, I don't understand this. It's certainly the price, though. I think for every fan out there, the natural gut reaction is this price is uncomfortable. It just doesn't feel right. And now that it's known that it's a limited scope sale, perhaps that makes more sense. They anticipate it not being it's not like it's going to retail or anything like that. That maybe that lends itself towards the cost. We all know that tooling anything, that classic Castle Grayskull, when the Four Horsemen sculpted that, Eric Treadaway sculpted that by hand. Mattel sent them like this plastic chassis to tool that thing. Was I think over to like, it was a couple $100,000 to get that thing tooled, like 300-400 grand. So just that was what, 10 years ago, 10 years ago or so. So something of decent size. I definitely understand that tooling can be expensive, but I wanted to I wanted to highlight the artists in this regard, that a lot of good artistry there, beautiful work. It's a one-to-one with the, it really looks beautifully one-to-one with the cartoon environment. If I had to be critical, not of the art, but of the what you get for what you pay, it really should include all the bells and whistles at that price point. If you have to pursue the TV and some other key components on a separate pack. Now, granted, that pack is still pretty readily available, but it's not cheap either. And granted, you get 4 small articulated to a point figures with that to a point. It just doesn't feel good, you know. And that seems to be the thing, is that diehard fans are probably going to get this, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the price doesn't. It just seemed like they missed the mark. It just doesn't feel comfortable.
No, and I totally agree. And this is, of course, Zelu1984 on Instagram. Guys, definitely check him out. As RenderFX has said, he's an incredible sculptor and painter. And he got noticed by NECA after he did an amazing rendition of April from their TMNT line. People were freaking out about his head sculpt change, because basically he did a brand new head sculpt for April. And then he ended up starting doing so much more work with NECA proper. I mean, he painted Wolverine here, right? He did all of these amazing custom Batman the Animated Series figures. I mean, these have never been released, but these are all his original creations. You know, you can see Dick Ward there, and you know, other Batman sculptures, Harley Quinn in several different outfits, right? These are, and you know, he was just doing this for fun for himself. He did a few commissions once upon a time, but he got just bombarded with work, and unfortunately had to start refusing people. It was unfortunate, but yeah, his hard work has paid off, as Renders has said, and now, you know, he did a full from the ground up sculpt of April O'Neil. This is his April now. You can purchase her anywhere right now.
Jay.
Sorry, what was that?
You can't see the April.
Oh, you can't see her? What the heck?
No, it's just his main page.
What's going on? It's
You're
not
just looking at the ghost.
You know what I'm doing? I'm on the wrong. I'm on the wrong window. What the heck?
No, I understand.
What I was trying to say was
That's the
that
Wolverine?
what I was trying to say was he painted this Wolverine. My apologies, everybody. He painted this Wolverine, right? He did all these crazy. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it now? Yeah. These are all of his custom Batman the Animated Series figures. Like, none of these have ever been released, right?
I
These
want the
things
Superman.
These things are incredible. Like, you know, you can see Harley Quinn here on her day off, right? You can see what's it called? Poison Ivy, Batgirl, right?
Joker.
You can see Harley Quinzel, right? You can see her right here again in a figure that's a Christmas Joker, right?
Nice.
You can see Ra's al Ghul with his mask,
Two-Face.
Two-Face is right there, exactly, right? These guys, these have never been released proper. There's Bruce Wayne as Batman, right? We see Selena Kyle, right? So many different Harley Quinn, like obviously everyone's favorite is Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is everywhere. I mean, like, you know, she's
Harley Quinn and a fish.
Exactly. She's all. Oh yeah, exactly. Harley Quinn and her fish, exactly. Right. Like the fish, exactly, the fish suit. That's right. There she is. that's right. And this is all part of his personal collection. We see Zeus here, right? We see the man bat before the man bat was actually a thing, right? Some crazy work that he's been associated with. He's even got what's it called? Ra's al Ghul's daughter,
Talia.
Talia, right?
Condiment King.
Yeah, right there, exactly. Like so many Ratfink, you know, all these crazy figures that he's made, you know, for customs and for commissions and everything like that. And this is what I was like, hey, there's April O'Neil. This is the April O'Neil that he sculpted from the ground up. He's been given the opportunities because, you know what, the fans saw his work and NECA noticed. Just like I said, NECA's watching us all, guys. So this is something that as long as you keep up and you know, do what you feel your passion, right, things can happen. And as Renders has said, this is actually Zelu's work. So not to knock Zelu. Zelu did a bang up job here. It really is not his choice how much it's being priced out at. It's unfortunate that had to happen, but you know, I think as Render said, I think he did a bang up job. That's not what we're trying to say here, guys. We're trying to say that the creative process on it, the everybody who does anything from toy sculpting to toy photography to all the great stuff, and of course sculpting like Renders does. You know, this is the stuff that people very rarely recognize or sometimes forget, right? And it's not them who is actually doing the pricing. That's corporate, right? Corporate's the one who actually does that. So it's pretty crazy when it comes down to that. Dave Sinelli, we want a flocked Splinter. No, we don't. We do not want a flocked Splinter.
I need a flock rat.
Exactly.
Well, Super7's coming out with a version of Splinter that's flocked. With his V1 version, he's coming out.
Is that right? Oh my god!
Really?
Really? I didn't
They
know.
already, that was part of Wave, whatever the 2 waves ago that were up for pre-order. I ordered him. I think he's cool.
You know what? Talking about
I stand
Super
corrected.
7.
Anything
about
flocked, I mean, I'm a sucker for. So
Talking about Super 7.
speaking of what the flock. I got Mossy's keeping me company because everybody else is packed up.
Oh wow. The most looking figure ever, right? That Mossman.
Oh my god, this Mossman is incredible. The best thing in the Origins line. I am just I can't say enough good things about
Ismail?
Mossman. He is just worth every penny. I know he's a $40
like
Origins figure, but totally worth it.
Does he smell, Toy Sorceress?
He did smell when I first got him. And now his smell's pretty much dissipated. But, he had a very light.
Gotta get some pine trees around him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I took him out. I had to live stream actually yesterday from the park. Me and Michael when we were on because they were having an open house at my house. I got kicked out because of the inclement weather today, and actually Mossman was with me. If you haven't checked out that episode, we were in the park together. But yeah, so he's great. He's absolutely great.
You know, Toy Sorcerers, now that you mentioned Super 7, one of the questions that I asked Brian Flynn about the Silver Hawks, the new ones with the vac-metal, right? Because people were asking a lot about how the on this part is gonna be with the vac-metal, because I was thinking it will be like the regular that has like this like rubbery soft material, and it's like 2 pieces of hard plastic. So that's gonna hinder the articulation a little bit. He told that in the interview I did with him, and he said that out loud, like, listen, it's gonna hinder the articulation a little bit. Do not try to push this too much because you're gonna scratch the figure there. Yeah. You know, that was one of my big questions with Super 7.
He can't change, chemical structures of stuff. Yeah. So
exactly.
vac-metal is made to stick to certain types of plastic.
Exactly.
And when it does, it makes it rigid, right? So you can't really change that fact. But we're going to get some incredibly gorgeous figures out of it. And I think Super 7 did a really great job at retooling and re-engineering the figures, modifying the joints ever so slightly to make sure that, they shaved off a little bit as the joints pass each other, as to not affect the vac-metal. So in the arms and the legs,
they look
all of that. It's incredible what he did. Some things had to be made, of a harder plastic. Of course, I know Brian talked about the joints that are inside the arms. Those are made of another plastic called POM that vac-metal can't stick to, but it had to be vac-metalized all at once. So the vac-metal will wear inside those joints. That's natural and it's meant to happen. You won't see it inside there. But I think Brian did an incredible job at really bringing us the Silverhawks that we wanted. And I think the best of all possible worlds that he could, because vac-metal is what it is. But at the end of the day, the figures look incredible. They will work rather well.
Oh, they're amazing. He was articulating the figure. He gave me the figure in hand. I articulate the figure, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing. Yeah. But on the side note and positive note about that, I don't know if I didn't have time to like comment this with Jay and also with John, but I talked to Jorge about it just before my interview with Brian. He was interacting when I was like waiting. He was talking to a person, to a guy, right? And this I want to put it outside because this was really special, at least to me. He was talking to this special need kid, right? And the kid was really like shy, like he was with his mask and he was kind of like very awkward and he was really introverted. And when I saw Brian interacting with him, he didn't care about how many people were waiting in line. He bring the kid and he start asking him questions, replying some questions and talking to him. And I was noticing because I was next. I was like, oh, the kid is trying to leave. But Brian, because he was kind of like shy, and Brian was like, no, come and let's talk and let's. And I told him before the interview, I was like, that thing that you did right there, dude, that's to awesome. Me said everything about the person you are. That's it. Because I work with disabled kids like every day in my daily basis. And to me, that was like, that's it, my friend. You are a great human being.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool from him.
Yeah, no,
that's awesome. I mean, you can tell Brian cares about us, the collectors and the fan base, because sometimes I see interviews with him and he cares about the fact that, well, I just put out this other wave for pre-order and I can't ask you guys to spend another, like $250 on another wave. Like you just had to, put out all this money. Like he's concerned, right? He's like, it's a lot of money to ask if you guys are like, does this make sense to you as a consumer? Like he actually genuinely cares. Yes, he's trying to make money. He owns a company. He's in a business, but at the same time, there's that human aspect of him that is mindful of what he's asking of us as collectors, and he cares about how it's going to affect us. So I think the way he paces, his releases and trying to care about us on that kind of the higher level. Yes, I know his products are more expensive, but that's a whole nother subject. He is a boutique company. He's got smaller MOQs. He has to work with all these individual factories, but at the end of the day, he cares. He honestly cares about us as consumers and what we think about his products, and he listens to us. And if he didn't listen to us, we wouldn't be getting vac-metal Silverhawks, because he already released the same characters, and now he went back and said, "Look, you guys really wanted this, and I wanted to do them right."
Listen,
so,
he told me, like, aside from the interview, he told me, like, listen, I'm here because of everybody that is here around me. Like, I'm here in this position because of the fans. So I own everything to the fans. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Brian is a great individual, and some people don't give him enough credit. There's a comment here I wanted to look at in a second, but I did want to bring this one up because Jeffrey, this goes directly to your point. The Turtle Lair is just a plastic version of the Extreme Sets pop-up diorama. I'm fine with a cardboard on for $50 to $70. I mean, Jeffrey, you and I are on that same train. Like I've always been tempted to buy one of those Extreme sets, and you know what? The way they come together is actually pretty good. So do you have any Extreme sets yourself, Jeff?
I have quite a few of them. The rest of the ones aren't as much fun to operate with because they tend to buckle because they have 2 layers and then they start to tip in on themselves. Yeah. But the other ones I'm really enjoying. I think they do a great job in terms of your figure photography, and you can do some really creative stuff just from maneuvering some lights a different way, throwing some background elements, really creates that depth to the set. So I'm a huge fan, and I don't have as much space for dioramas. Those work perfectly for what I need for that, especially for my figure photography.
Wookie Sausage follows up with the McFarlane 66 set, Bat Cave, Wayne Manor, Villain's Lair. They're like $30 each, and I doubt the production cost is much higher than the TMNT sewer. You know what? That's a tough call. That's a tough call. They're very different things, and you know what? One is in Walmart and Target and a whole lot of other places, and NECA seems to be doing this one on their own. What's everybody's take on this whole idea that NECA is actually doing this on themselves? And is that the problem? Is it the same situation where because it's not a retail, this is the reason why the price is so high? Is that actually a justification for what they're doing right now?
They're not going to get some of these sets out for their prices. I mean, their stuff is too big to make it to retail. I mean, what's the biggest place that we've seen lately actually hit retail? And they're doing well above and beyond in terms of the scale and scope for what we're getting from those McFarlane 66 figures. They're kind of smaller anyway, but we're getting like a library, we're getting a boat, and that's the extent of it. But, Thundertake is not going to work on that at Target. That's going to take up every shelf there.
I just picked up the TMNT Mutant Mayhem Sewer Lair playset. That thing's big. It's in a big box. It was on the bottom shelf at Target. Bought it super easy. So they could do it if they wanted to. That's all I gotta say. I mean, the box was as big as probably like Snake Mountain or something like that. Maybe a little
as big as a shoebox.
But well, in a box, it's 3 walls and a bottom and some furniture. It would not be that big if you just clipped it together.
I mean,
so it could fit on a retail shelf.
Toys R Us. We're the Netflix Castle Grayskull, right? I mean, did you pick that up?
I didn't, but I did see it at Target.
It's gigantic.
$99, and it's huge. The box
It's
is huge.
huge. It is massive. It's got lights. It's got sound. It's a massive playset. It's huge. I think it's just these companies are just looking at the risk involved and seeing it, and just wondering whether or not it's really worth it. I think that's really but to do it yourselves and to have to charge $300 for this thing, I think it was a misstep. In a lot of ways, I think that they've miscalculated the market. I think that they looked at. Make no mistake. I think that after the success of the Cat's Lair, I think they were like, maybe we can try $300 on this thing. I mean, they're just as a lot of people have said earlier. I think they're just testing the waters to find out what sticks. You know what I mean? If it's going to actually be too hot or if it's going to be too cold.
It's sliding off.
Yeah, and Jay, I'll share this on the official NECA official Instagram page where they posted the 3-week open pre-order. Starts at the NECA store. There's a litany of comments there where the tide has sort of turned. They've built. I mean, NECA's built a tremendous lot of goodwill in the past, and then there was some. They always had beautiful sculpts and beautiful looking product, but then there was a period of time where the plastic was a little brittle. They really came out of that, and they've done stellar work, built a ton of goodwill, and so it's really telling when they post something. Generally, it's a lot of positive feedback because they've earned it. Not saying that the product doesn't look good, but the feedback on their own Instagram posting is pretty brutal. There's a lot of chit chatter where people are not happy, and it's that weird natural feeling. When you look at the new Lair for Thundercats, I mean it's all when you see that thing in person, it's amazing, and your jaw drops, and you're inspired to do whatever it takes to get the thing. I felt that way with the Super7 Snake Mountain. It sits behind me right there. That's a passion piece. I love that thing. I love that Brian got that across the table. It was insane to do it. He did it, and I thank him for it. This particular thing, though, it just the natural gut reaction is very telling, and you can see it right there on the posting.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing comments like, and there are some diehard NECA fans in here. I mean, like this one's a good one. Adding to the high price complaints, NECA, I love you, but I can't wrap my head around the price. I feel lucky to be able to afford it, but I'm not going to buy it because I really would feel FOMO ripped off. Accessories sets an extra feeling like gouging. I was so excited, but when another company put out, see all the recent Comic Legions, Dragonfly HasLab feels incredibly underwhelming, said to pass, but I just can't do it. I mean, like there are a lot of comments like that. I mean, some people are taking the advantage of just saying stuff like, and you know what, to their credit, they haven't deleted these because, we got Kraken Customs here. I'll be making these at half price if anybody's interested. I mean,
some people are
like, talk about entrepreneuring, like they're literally just like again, to their credit, because a lot of people have been saying earlier this week that they're deleting comments. So far, I haven't seen any deleted comments, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, would you?
I mean, yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Okay. You got me, Jeff. You got me. Would you see any deleted comics? You got me there, Jeff. I mean,
how many units do you think they're gonna end up selling?
Here's, what, I don't want to be the negative. I don't want to be that negative Nancy or whatever term you want to call it. But I'll be honest. In my personal opinion, this is one of those situations where I hope they don't sell enough. I just don't want these companies. This is like, and you know what, NECA, this isn't really at anybody there. This isn't at anybody specific. But I think we've all hit a ceiling where we can't go past. Like, it's like anybody who can afford this, congratulations. Anybody who's going to buy this, by all means, buy it, right? But I'm really hoping that it's just they hit their minimum the MOQ, and they realize this is not really profitable for us. Like we made our money back. There's money to be had here, but maybe if we drop the price by $100 or $150 or $170, we'll sell more of these things. You know what I mean? That's what I'm
or 200.
That's what I'm hoping. I don't know about 200. I don't think that, the first diorama was 115. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not encouraging anybody not to buy this. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm hoping that the sales won't be as good as they hope, because I'm thinking this is going to be a home run. I'm hoping that they realize this is not going to be a home run, and they should really reconsider their pricing strategy for something like this.
Because that's really the thing. We've seen this with the Engine of Vengeance, the Nitro Arena from Mattel, where the price just doesn't seem to be a good value for what you're getting. And most of the time, people aren't saying, "Oh, this thing looks like trash." It's like the price is too much, and I think that's what set everybody so excited when they released the price for the Dragonfly. I was like, "It's cheaper than the His Tank? Great, sign me up!" So people were really excited about
right?
that. When you see that price and it's too much, it's like, come on, you don't have to make it more expensive than the last one. Just and work with us. I mean, some of us are like, in the audit, put a $50 less, and then we can bite on it. But so often,
you hit the nail on the head. What did Super7 do with their Cat's Lair? It's the same price as their Snake Mountain set was 3 or 4 years ago, right there. And they made sure that they're
and to me,
palatable price.
Bigger is bigger, and the space inside, the design and everything is insane compared to the Snake Mountain.
Yes, with electronics and all.
It is crazy. So it is crazy.
They did it right. That you feel like you're getting your money's worth. Yes, this is an expensive set, but it's worth every penny, and you don't feel like you're getting ripped off.
Yeah,
you feel like they price this thing right for what it is.
Power.
Power what?
Power Turtle Buster figure review says that Lair price is too strong. How do I get on here? LOL. I mean, Jeff, if you want to, I don't know. I'm happy to bring him on, Jeff. I don't know if you want to send him.
I gotta head out soon. Actually.
You gotta head out soon too. You know what? Actually, we are gonna start wrapping it up. This was 9 o'clock is when I wanted to start wrapping this up. But I want to thank all my special guests for being here tonight. We're gonna take a few more comments and then we're gonna start wrapping it up, guys. Turtle Power Buster. If the sale for NECA Hasbro and gang will start to take advantage and gouge, we will be. I will be priced out. Yeah, many of us are going to be priced out if they start doing this, and it's one of those things. When you start losing your customer base, are you really doing a service to yourself? I don't think so. I think you're hurting yourself in the long run. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Ray Alonso says, I can afford it, but I don't see the value here. Bummed because this was my most anticipated pre-order this year. I agree. There are a lot of people who are looking to get this to make their full diorama set for the turtles. And now even Mad Hatter, who at first said, I'm going to buy this just to review it, he's already saying now that he's not going to do it. He's
but maybe Flipper is going to buy it to resell.
Power Turtle said it really good there. If they made a Ghostbusters firehouse for the same price, would you buy that rather than the sewer place?
But there's
even the multiple levels and it's
levels, right? That's the thing.
The levels are good.
Yes.
Yeah,
right there.
An actual garage where you can park the extra one. Yeah.
And no one's made it since, right? Yeah. So that would have been really cool. And that's a good point.
That's a good point.
The value isn't there. Yeah. Right.
Blue Splash says, I understand, Jay, but this is going to sell out. I don't think so. I'll be personally, I just don't think there are enough people and you know what? There's no sellout. This is a made-to-order situation, so there's no sellout. Yeah. That's not going to happen. Yeah. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think so. $300 is a big ask for 4 walls and a floor. I mean, like it's one of those things where a lot of people are just like the whole community is basically like up in arms saying, "What the hell's going on?" Like
this is bad too, because you got the cast there. Some people are waiting to see. I mean, then people are getting the ghosts, and then other people are wondering what's going on with the Marvel Legends HasLab. So it's like, I can hold that 300 for whatever Marvel's going to drop.
Yep. Okay, the Weekend Gamer, yes, a custom a diorama of a sewer lair will cost $300, and maybe that was their strategy. But the reality is that most of, what you're paying for there is an artist's work. Okay, you are paying for somebody to create something for you from scratch, whether it's by hand or whether it's by 3D sculpting. And you know what? You're paying for their time, and that's a big difference from a big company coming in. And as talented as Zelu 1984 is, he's working for a company. He made this for them, and it's up to them to price it out accordingly. And there's a ceiling that has to be hit. Some people like I featured a Cat's Lair that literally a month before the actual Cat's Lair was actually put out for solicitation, and the person who commissioned it told me how much he paid for it. Let's just say it's more expensive than the Cat's Lair. Let's just put it that way. But he's happy. He is very, very, very happy because it's going to be a one of a kind thing. No one else has it. That's basically what we're looking at here. All right, guys. So I think we're going to start wrapping it up. The toy community better not have FOMO for the sewer layer resist. I don't think there's. I'm not sure. Guys, you think there's going to be FOMO on this one? I'm not.
Okay.
No, I mean, maybe diehard turtle fans, but I mean,
Yeah.
Regular collectibles, I don't think so.
I agree. I can't say three. Like if there was more, if there was a ton of accessories with this thing, if it had more stuff, like I think that's really the problem here. For me, I just don't see enough. I just don't see enough added value here. That's if it had a freaking like what Carlos said, if it had the freaking street on top that I didn't have to cut up my box for. I mean, like I think that would be a big bonus. I mean, seriously.
I mean, even if it had the street on top for $300, it's still too much money, but you'd feel a little better about it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Power Turtle Buster says it. You know, if they had a real Ghostbusters Firehouse, absolutely. There are a lot of people who would buy it at that price. I mean, that's a no brainer, right? I mean, if the Cat's Lair is $650, I mean the Ghostbusters Firehouse, absolutely. It's crazy. Brian Carr, more money for Mondo Panther. Exactly.
Yes, yep, that's it. Yep. That's gonna hit probably soon.
100%. Natural Nate Marvel, custom Turtles living room set is going for $850 on Etsy, but you're getting an artistic piece. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for a mass manufactured piece that everyone's going to get, right? Or at least would hope to get. You know what I mean? All right, and thank you, KNman00 for the $10 super chat. You're amazing, my friend. Are all you definitely not going to purchase a cereal layer? Okay, everybody around the horn. Actually, everybody together. No,
I got to pass this time.
No,
we're not going to do it. No, there's no. Oh my God, Ray Alonso. How much would the NECA Technodrome cost? Everybody, how much would a Technodrome?
Small car.
I paid $300 for a Technodrome any day over $300 for 3 walls around a sewer playset.
Have it open up.
And
yeah, just
down. But I think it would be much closer to a Cat's Lair or way more than a Cat's Lair.
It's gonna be like that size, pretty much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. McMurphy, he's gonna end it off for us. I like turtles. Great meme. Wonderful meme. Great to see you guys.
And One Punch Man.
Exactly. And One Punch Man. Thank you so much. Turtle sewer equals engines of failagents. Oh my God. Shots fired. Shots fired, everybody. Holy crap. SA says, I pay $1,000 for a proper Technodrome. You know what, brother? I can see it. I can totally see that. Guys, I want to thank my very special guests, everybody here. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Badass Reviews. Carlos, how can people reach you and what are you working on, my friend?
Well, my friend, I'm on Instagram, The Badass Reviews, and also my YouTube channel, The Badass Reviews. I love to take photography, toy reviews, toy news, everything. So check it out, please.
Absolutely. Toy Sorceress, what are you working on and how can people reach you?
We are always bringing you all of the latest toy news on toyhabits.com. Make sure to check it out. Michael is going to be publishing an awesome in-hand review on Fangor coming out tomorrow morning. So be sure to check that out. And just stay tuned to our website every day because we're always bringing you all of the news that pops up and anything else that is exciting out there. Stay tuned to our Instagram channel and our community page on YouTube as well because we post on there every time we have a new article on our website. And Jay, it's been incredible being on your show. Thank you for having me as a guest and all the rest of the guests on today. You guys are incredible. It's been a lot of fun to have this very, very interesting conversation. I think one that needed to be had.
Interesting conversation.
I'll leave it at that.
That's the best way to put it.
I tried to be nice.
People are watching. People are watching.
People are watching. Yes, John, what are you working on, my friend? How can people reach you?
Just catch me on Instagram right now, Emerald Knight Photos. Just working on doing some shots of the stuff I got from PowerCon. So I'll be posting that later in the week. Also, I'm a member of the Geeked Out Click, toy photography group, and we are planning on starting a weekly YouTube show as well. So that's coming in the works. So be on the lookout for that. But right now, just taking photos.
That's awesome, John. Definitely check out Emerald Knight Photo on Instagram, guys. You won't regret it.
It's
It does
amazing.
amazing work, and of course, it's
Thank
part
you.
of a wonderful collective group. Renders, what are you working on, my friend, and how can people reach you?
Hey, everybody. Well, first, thank you very much, Jay, and everyone here in the awesome conversation. Thanks for having me, Jay. It's always a pleasure, sir. If interested in anything I'm working on, you can hit me up at rendersfx.com, which just takes you to my Instagram. And any project that I can post, I try to post some updates there. Right now, just working on a couple sculpts, maybe diorama based, maybe not. But, working like a statue for a commission project and a possible action figure or two, depending on how that lands. So just wrapping up work, of course, on the Flipboard projects. I'm very excited to work with Jay and Hatter, and of course, getting some guidance with Ramen Toy, of course, the wisdom shared there. So thank you again, everybody, for your time, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Renders. Really appreciate it. And of course, guys, he's working on a diorama. So, guys, look forward to that. Jeff, my friend, what are you working on, and how can people reach you, my friend?
Oh, so many episodes on the channel. Lyle's Figure Files on YouTube. Do a live every Thursday at 8:05, and I'm in the process of going through all these clearance figures I picked up from Target over the last month. So you can check out those reviews on lylesmoviefiles.com. And as always, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you, Jay, and the rest. So much fun. Make sure to check out everybody's channels, follow them, like them, all that great stuff.
Much appreciated, guys. I really, this has been an absolute pleasure. PowerCon just completely drained the life out of me. I'm so tired. It's been hard to get, but I love hanging out with all you guys. You guys are my family. You guys are my friends. This has been an amazing time catching up with you guys. So, guys, I will be doing a couple more live streams throughout the week, and of course, still posting up many more of those interviews. Posting up a lot of exclusive content for everybody who's on my Patreon page. You guys are already seeing some of the exclusive interviews, some of the things that happen behind the scenes. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Guys, I want to wish all you guys a very happy rest of the weekend, which is not much. It's only about a few hours away.
Hey, can I say something before you sign off? Totally.
Of course.
Everybody out there, you have to like and hit the subscribe button, because Jay is only 300 subscribers away from hitting 15,000. So if you haven't subscribed to Jay's channel, do it now, because we want to get you up to 15K subs, my friend. So I had to say that before we logged
And then
off.
we have a celebration. A celebration.
Wow.
Yes.
You know what?
We're gonna have to celebrate when you hit 15,000. That
Well, you know
is
what?
an incredible milestone.
I'll only accept that endorsement if everybody joins me for the 15,000 celebration that we will have. According to
I'll be
Carlo.
there. I'll be
We're
there.
gonna be there. We're going to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Because I'll say it right now. I was going to plan on doing this anyways. I will be giving away a ton of crap on the 15,000, as I always do. So you guys have to be here when that happens. And of course, everybody here is going to be there. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. Thank you, Toy Stars. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jeff, Carlos, John,
so much,
and of course, Renders. Thank you so much for that. Awesome. Guys, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. What the heck, Renders? Good journey, everybody. Geek proud.